Well, Jeff, we have 5 picks here from the biggest games of the weekend. We want you to tell us the winners and losers of these games. Obviously, we'll save Georgia, Tennessee for last, but hey, number 6 Alabama goes on the road to number 10 LSU. Top 10 matchup here. What do you think about this one?
Man, LSU's a hard team to put your finger on this year because they've looked really good and they've looked really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a day game or not? It's an 11 a.m.
Nighttime
game.
at Death Valley.
It's nighttime in Death Valley, Jeff.
Oh,
yeah.
Here's the only thing: Alabama doesn't lose 2 in a row. I don't think. I think it'll be closer than a lot of people think, but I'll take Bama.
Okay. How about you, boys?
I agree with him.
Okay.
I agree 100%. I think it's going to be. I think LSU's going to cover. I think it's at 12 or 13. You're going down there. If LSU gets off to a bad start like they had, previously, basically in every big game they've played in, they've been able to come back and win some. I don't think they're going to be able to come back and beat Alabama. It's hard for me to bet against Bryce Young twice in a season. I do think they drop one at LSU or Ole Miss, but I don't think it's this one. I think Bama kicks a field goal to put it away.
Okay, close one then. You go ride with LSU?
No, you mean Bama by 10.
Really?
Alabama's not losing another regular season game.
Oh, yeah, you have
got a $100 bet on it.
They have a $100 bet.
$100.
Blaine thinks Alabama's winning out. Well, I disagree with Matt Moscona that LSU can't win this football game. I think LSU certainly can win this game in Death Valley at night, but you still have Bryce Young. I'm going to roll with the Crimson Tide as well. How about number 24, Texas, with Steve Sarkisian? They go to number 14, Kansas State. This is a Kansas State team, Jeff, that just beat Oklahoma State 48-0. Top 25 matchup. Who do you like in that one?
You know what? Texas is a little bit like LSU. Is sometimes they look great and sometimes you're like, what the hell are they doing? Quinn Ewers, he's a good quarterback, but what K-State did to Oklahoma State, I think shocked everybody. So I'm going with K-State on this one.
Yeah, and they did it with a backup quarterback. I mean, Will Howard came in there and absolutely balled. Don't know the status yet of Adrian Martinez if he's going to play. Off the rip, I wanted to pick Texas in this one. I really did because I'm a big believer in Quinn Ewers. Bijan Robinson's an absolute Lamborghini. But I think Kansas State has more of an identity than Texas does. I think Kansas State looks in the mirror and knows who they are. Am I a little bit overweight? Maybe. Am I a good talker? Definitely. I think they're more physical. I like Kansas State in a low-scoring game and because it's at home. And I like climbing.
Give me Texas.
Your boys.
Texas
you picked them to win Big 12, so I don't blame you.
I think they're favored in this game. Give me Texas by at least a touchdown.
By at least a touchdown.
By at least a touchdown. Look, after what I saw last week from Kansas State, that shocked me. I'm going to go with the Wildcats there. Maybe the deuce will get loose again.
Dude, that little guy, he just hides in people's pocket. You can't see him. He's like a little Ewok running around.
It really is unbelievable. Serious Darren Sproles vibes.
Yes.
All right, number 4, Clemson, who's already played some tough road games this season. They go on the road to Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame is unranked, but they just beat Syracuse on the road. Who do you like in this one, Jeff?
Yeah, this is a tough one. My son-in-law is a giant Notre Dame fan, so I've watched Notre Dame quite a bit this year. They looked better last weekend than they have all year, and I know they lost to Stanford and all that, but Clemson has not convinced me, and I'm probably going against everybody on this. I think Notre Dame beats them at home.
I don't think that's a crazy pick at all. Notre Dame plays up and down to their competition. We've seen that. They play one way against Ohio State, then they totally forget how to play against Marshall. I just feel when I look at this matchup, as much as I still don't trust DJU, even though he's shown a lot of growth, but it's kind of regressed lately. I don't trust Notre Dame's quarterback situation. I think to beat a team and a defense like Clemson with some of the aliens they have running around up front on that defensive line, you've got to have a guy that can make those throws in small windows on the run. Drew Pine, again, he's about as accurate as me predicting what Blaine's going to do next. So that doesn't really work out well. Give me Clemson, a little bit closer than the experts think. I think Notre Dame plays well early, but give me Clemson late.
Lane?
Defensive touchdown changes the game.
Over-under is 44 in this game, so it's going to be a lot of points. It comes down to how good is Notre Dame's defense play and what DJU's going to show up. What DJU's going to show up. This game, I think Clemson wins by a field goal, but game-winning field goal.
Game-winning.
I think Notre Dame's going to play well.
Is this going to be like a 19-15 game?
Feels like
it just
yeah.
feels like
Maybe
it's going to be. There's going to be 2 safeties. Somehow they're going to figure out a way to score 1 point, not on an extra point. It just feels like crazy stuff's going to happen.
I'm going to go with Mr. Jeff. Let's go. Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Colleen's going to
partner it up there, buddy. Let's do it. All right. In the ACC, we have 2 more left here. In the ACC, you would think Miami, Florida State might be the biggest matchup of the weekend. That's how it was when I was growing up. But instead, it's the interstate matchup of number 21, Wake Forest, at number 22, NC State. Mr. Jeff, who are you taking there?
Wake Forest and NC State's more important than Florida State. Miami.
Okay. All right. So, you know how, like, sometimes when you're betting, you do deep analysis on the game, and then sometimes you have to go off the rails. So my brother played middle linebacker at Duke, and this was back in the 80s, and to this day he will not own a light blue shirt. He refuses to own a light blue shirt. And my wife's college roommate at Georgia, her son years ago, Riley Skinner, was the quarterback for Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And so I'm going Wake on this one for no other reason than it's, that's my analysis.
Look, I'm going with Wake too. Devin Leary's out for NC State. I mean, they couldn't score with a blind chick right now. So I mean, it's not a good situation. Trust Sam Hartman. Again, look, the Demon Deacons, I'm not getting on the wrong side of that. I've seen The Conjuring. Give me Wake Forest.
Wonder how long you two's going to keep this up. That would be the real question. Give me...
Anybody can be anything now. It's 2022, Blaine. What do you mean?
Hey, you're a white male. You better calm down.
You better stop being a misogynist.
You better calm down.
And give your pick.
Let me get Wake Forest.
Yeah?
Give the Demon Deacons, baby. Not Devin Leary. It matters.
Look, NC State was my pick to win the conference. That didn't work out so much. And they were struggling even before Devin Leary went out. So clean slate here on this round. Give me the Demon Deacon. Which brings us to the matchup of the weekend, Mr. Jeff, the Georgia Bulldogs against the Tennessee Volunteers.
Oh, wow. You didn't even wait.
Yeah.
No. Believe me. Just wait till what I do. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
We have
Jeff.
Mr. Herschel Walker signed.
Yeah, we got Herschel Walker behind. Don't worry. I got something else planned for this.
Okay. So here's the deal. I don't care who you are. There is such a thing, especially in the SEC, as home field advantage. Mm-hmm. And, I remember watching Georgia play Missouri, and as I'm sitting there watching it, I went, right off the bat, I'm like, holy hell, this crowd is into it tonight. Do you think Tennessee beats Alabama if that game had been played in Tuscaloosa?
It's a lot harder.
I don't. I don't. I think Neyland was rocking, and it benefited Tennessee. I think Sanford Stadium's going to be as nuts as it has ever been. I think that city's going to be nuts. All the people from Knoxville, they're going to invade Athens because it's 150 miles and they can afford 2 tanks of gas. So I think this is one of those games that, and you say this about everything, I think a turnover could be the difference in this game. Yeah. If somebody puts the ball on the rug, it could change the whole thing. But I will never bet against the Dogs. So I say the Dogs win one, but they don't cover the 8.
Yeah, the 8's a lot.
That's a
lot. What do you got up your sleeve over there?
All right, look, man. Tennessee's year. I mean, they've done everything right. They go up and they beat Pitt. We've seen them go and finally beat Alabama, get over the hump. You beat Florida, you got over the hump.
LSU on the road.
LSU on the road. You've got the quarterback. It looks like Byron Young on that defense may be just good enough to not blow it for that incredible offense. Josh Heupel is a great story. But, Jeff, you know what else is a great story? Hansel and Gretel and Little Red Riding Hood. And you know what happened to them? They got 8. All right? I'm going Georgia because you're going into Sanford Stadium. All right, you're going into Athens. All right, like Xerxes with nothing but mad men, but you're facing some dogs. Give me Georgia by a touchdown, and Georgia wins the East and goes to SEC championship. Woo! That's right.
Blaine?
Oh, no.
Follow that, big dog.
I've thought about this hard. This is a tough decision. They're the team of destiny this year, boys. It's the Tennessee Volunteers.
You're going Tennessee.
Tennessee Volunteers upset. Georgia's great. Stetson Bennett, cool story. I mean, he always plays well with his backs against the wall. But this Georgia defense, I think, will play good, but not good enough. And Hendon Hooker's going to win the Heisman, fellas. Give me the
Man, I'm going to go with Blaine on this one. I'm going to take Tennessee Volunteers,
2v2.
but I think maybe both these teams end up making the playoffs. That's how it's looking like it could work.
Get weird.
Could work like
We get a
that.
rematch? Alabama, LSU
We get a
style?
rematch. In which case, I'll take Georgia, make Mr. Jeff happy, and then
So you're playing both sides.
Don't make any enemies.
Yeah,
You know
good
what I
for
mean?
you.
There you go.
Good, you'd be great in politics.
Yeah.
Jeff, we may need to get. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this: who should have won the Tennessee-Alabama game?
The team that did.
I'm a firm believer in
17 penalties, just too much.
I feel like Alabama.
No, but I'm talking about at the end of the game. I'm sitting there watching it, going, "Run the ball 3 times and kick the field goal."
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then Tennessee struggled mightily up at Pitt. And this environment's going to be a lot more raucous than Pitt was.
Yeah, it's going to be
is true.
nuts. I mean, it's going to be, and
a
you're
reason
coming off a
Georgia's
national
favorite,
championship, so now defending the city
Yeah.
is a lot harder than overtaking the city from an emotion standpoint. But I do think that's where Kirby and the process, or whatever he calls it, the blueprint, that's where I think you see what those older guys, that Nakobe and Jordan and Lewis and all those guys, taught those younger guys now, even when Nolan Smith out. But we may need to get Bill Engvall on to break the tie at some point or something like that.
Hey, if you like that content, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. If you didn't like that content, why don't you just go ahead and subscribe anyway? Thank you.